guys, and welcome to Film Learnin, the show dedicated to learning you some filmmaking and learning good. And what's that? That new season smell. We got a new title sequence, a new lower third, and of course, the same meg-headed host. Oh, can't win them all. So let's get into this bitch with a request from just a few of you. Now, it was hard to understand what you wanted, but I gather you want a voice tutorial on the new Batman voice? I think? So in order to complete this effect, you need a voice. So this guy can get the f*** out. Now let's get to work. Okay guys, here we are back in Audition. I've already got my audio set up, so let's have a listen first. Tell me, do you bleed? You will. As you can hear, I'm still doing a gravelly Batman-ish voice as a base before we add the effects. Now this is important as the effects will only enhance what we have. They can't make it sound tough if you sound like King Candy. Tell me, do you bleed? Ugh. Now before we begin, I just want to say that Audition itself isn't the best for creating this kind of effect. We'd be much better off with a plugin made for vocal effects, but I wanted to make this as easy as everyone to do as possible without having to fork out, more money. So first step, let's hit Ctrl A to highlight all of our audio, head up to Effects, Time and Pitch, and select Pitch Shifter. Now guys, if you're using Audition CS6, you may notice that you don't actually have Pitch Shifter, but that's not true. Let me jump over to CS6 and show you where it is. Let's head to Effect, Time and Pitch, and select Stretch and Pitch. Now you'll see two algorithm options up the top here, Isotope and Audition. All you have to do is click Audition, and there it is, Pitch Shifter. Now, back to the project. We're going to lower the semitones to -8, the precision to high, change the overlapping to 50%, and change the splicing frequency to 30. Now let's have a listen.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
As you can hear, we've really lowered that pitch way too far, but we are starting to get that garbled electronic sound. So let's hit Apply, and now for the next step. We're going to speed it back up a tad. So let's head back up to Effect, Time and Pitch, and select Pitch Shifter once more. Only this time, we'll set the semitones to a positive number. Feel free to play around until it sounds right to you.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
I think one higher should do.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
Sounds pretty good. Let's hit Apply and move on. Our next step is adding some doubling to thicken that vocal up just a little bit. To do that, we'll head to Effect, Modulation, and select Chorus. We'll grab the 5 voices option from the menu, and then change that voice amount directly down to 3. We'll then change the spread to 45, the modulation to 30, and bump the wet over here up to 80%.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
I might bump the spread down to 30, as it's starting to sound a little bit too much like an echo.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
That's better. Let's hit Apply and head to our last step. So our last step is adding a little metallic vibrato to our voice, once again to reinforce that electronic feel that it's coming out of the device. So let's head to Effect, Modulation, and select Flanger. As you can see here, I've made a preset called Batman, so let's have a listen.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
Now since we all don't have that preset, let's head to the drop down menu and select Robotic, and we'll make it from scratch. We'll bump the feedback down to 40% and we'll bottom out that modulation rate completely. Now let's have a listen.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
Let's hit Apply, and that's our first tutorial for the year. Done. Once again, I just want to point out, we're basing this entire tutorial on one line from a trailer in a movie. The final result in the actual movie may be a little bit different. So if you are one of those people that's watching this after March 25 when the movies come out, that's why it doesn't quite sound the same. Add up all those steps and your voice goes from this,
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
to this.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
So that's my take on the new Batman voice. As always, not hard, no third-party plugins, and over in less than 10 minutes. Now if you enjoyed this video, throw me a thumbs up and share it with your mama and everyone else. And guys, I just wanted to thank you all for embracing Film Learnin Masterclass. That was truly awesome. And as far as this show's concerned, I've been madly putting together some episodes because my son will be born any day now. Hell, he might even be born before this goes up. And once again, I want to thank everyone for watching. If you're joining us for the first time, we have 97 other episodes to check out, as well as this very attractive subscribe button. We also have the Facebook and the Twitter, and until next time when I travel back in time, keep learning.